the ache would fade with seasons, like scars that learn to close. I thought your name would lose its meaning as time kept moving on its own. But every street still feels familiar, like you're walking just behind. I keep telling myself I'm stronger, but my heart won't fall in line. I lived 1,000 normal days, but one thought still remains. I'm still hurting after all this time, still breaking in the quiet night. I learned to smile, I learned to cope, but healing isn't letting go. Even when the world moved on and said I should be fine, I'm still hurting after all this time. Your shadow doesn't haunt my mornings, but it owns my sleepless nights. I don't cry like I did back then, but the pain learned how to hide. I've met new faces, heard new laughter, tried to let my heart restart. But some loves don't really leave you, they just change where they hurt. I don't miss the way you left, I miss who I was before it. I'm still hurting after all this time, still replaying every sign I forgave you long ago. But forgiveness doesn't heal the bone, even when the years went by and blur the reasons why, and blur the reasons why. I'm still hurting after all this time. Maybe love doesn't expire, maybe it just learns to wait. Maybe I'm not broken, I just love too deep to escape. I don't want you back, that's not my prayer. I just want this pain to stop living here. I'm still hurting after all this time. I'm still hurting after all this time, but I'm standing still alive. I don't bleed the way I used to, but the scar still knows your name. Even if I never heal all the way I hoped I might, I'll keep breathing through the truth. I'm still hurting after all this time. Some love doesn't fade, it just gets quieter. I gave you my patience when I had none left. I gave you my faith when I was a mess. I stayed up forgiving things you never saw. I kept us together while you drifted off. I didn't count the cost, I didn't guard my heart. I just kept loving you from the very start. You took the best of me and left me learning how to breathe. I gave you every part, even the ones I couldn't spare. You took my trust, my time, my quiet hopes, my sleepless nights. Yeah, you took the best of me and walked away free. I saw softened my voice so you wouldn't leave. I swallowed my pain so you could believe. I made myself smaller to fit in your doubt. I loved you without limits till there was nothing left. Now I thought love meant staying no matter the cost, but love shouldn't feel like something you lost. You took the best of me, my honesty, my loyalty. I stood in every storm while you were already gone. You took my open heart and called it something weak. Yeah, you took the best of me and never looked back at me. Oh, maybe I gave too much. Maybe you took too little care. Maybe love isn't cruel, just uneven when it's shared. I don't regret loving you. That part of me is true. I regret forgetting myself, trying to save you. You took the best of me, but you didn't take my soul. I'm still standing in the wreckage, learning how to feel whole. I won't bleed for someone who couldn't stay and see. You took the best of me, but what's left will be for me. I gave you everything. Now I give myself what's left. The house feels larger than it used to, now that it's only me inside. Every sound is something missing, every corner learned to hide. Your cup still waits beside the window, like time forgot to move along. I talk to rooms that don't remember how we stayed here this long. I don't call your name, I don't ask for more. I just sit with the echo of who we were before. I'm alone with what we were, with the love that couldn't last. I survived the letting go, but I live inside the past. You found your way to somewhere new. I stayed where we began. Yeah, I'm alone with what we were, trying to understand. I don't blame the way you left me, I blame how I stayed behind, holding on to every version of you, frozen in my mind. I learned how to move through daylight, smile like I've healed somehow, but night brings back the questions I never learned to ask out loud. You don't haunt my dreams, you don't call my phone, you just live inside the silence I call home. wish the letting go didn't hurt this much to learn. I'm alone with what we were, but I'm stronger than before. I don't bleed the way I did when you walked out that door. Even if the memory stays quiet, undefined, I'm alone with what we were, but I'm learning how to leave it behind. Some love doesn't follow you, it stays where it ended. You left without packing your shadow. It stayed here, sleeping in the hall. Your name was still in every corner, even when you didn't call. I kept your place at the table like absence was temporary. I told myself you were just lost, not choosing to leave me. You were already moving on. I was still holding on. I stayed when you were gone, held the light, kept us strong. I talked to silence like it knew how much I was still loving you. While your world was moving on, I was standing where we'd begun. Yeah, I stayed when you were gone, and it broke me quietly. Your messages came less and later, your voice fell farther each time. I learned to measure love by the spaces between replies. I defended you in my own mind, said distance doesn't mean the end, but love shouldn't feel like waiting for someone who's already left. I made excuses for your absence, till absence was all I knew. I stayed when you were gone, when the nights grew long. I slept with hope inside me, even when it hurt to breathe. You were learning how to forget, I was learning how to pretend. Yeah, I stayed when you were gone, and I lost myself in it. Maybe love isn't always loud, maybe it just refuses to leave. Maybe staying was my way of still believing, but faith without a future is just pain in disguise. And I held on long after love said goodbye. I stayed when you were gone, but I don't think I can now. I carried us for too long without you around. I don't regret the love I gave, even if it cost me everything. Yeah, I stayed when you were gone, but now I'm choosing me. said goodbye like it was gentle, like it wouldn't leave a mark. Just a sentence barely spoken, then you vanished into dark. I nodded like I understood it, like I'd be fine after you. But some endings keep on bleeding, no matter what you do. I thought time would close the door, but it just left it cracked. It was a goodbye that never healed, the wound I learned to hide. I moved on in every way, except the one inside. I learned to live, I learned to smile, learned to say I'm fine. But it was the goodbye that never healed, it just learned how to survive. I've met new faces, new tomorrows, built a life you'll never see. But every quiet celebration feels incomplete to me. I don't replay the way you hurt me, I replay the way you stayed. Right before the moment everything started slipping away. You didn't break my heart out loud, you just let it fade. It was the goodbye that never healed, the echo in my chest. I forgave you long ago, but forgiveness isn't rest. Even when the years rolled on and softened every fight, it was the goodbye that never healed, still waiting in my life. Maybe closure is a story we tell ourselves to cope. Maybe love doesn't need answers to still hurt like hope. I don't want you back again, that's not my truth. I just wish the last goodbye had finished me and you. It was the goodbye that never healed, but I carried it with grace. I didn't let it harden me, I just gave it space. Even if it stays forever quiet, undefined, it was the goodbye that never healed, but I'm still alive. Some goodbyes don't end love, they just end the story. I felt you slipping through my fingers, like sand I tried too hard to keep. I held you close but never noticed how love was falling out of reach. You smiled like nothing was breaking, but your eyes were already gone. I tried to freeze the moment, breathing, but moments don't stay when they're done. I gave you all I had, but all I had was growing cold. I felt my hands give away the love I couldn't hold. It's the love I couldn't hold, a fragile thing I let unfold. I tried to make it stay, but staying wasn't in your soul. Even when the morning came and painted hope in shades of gold, I was left with empty hands, the love I couldn't hold. Your sweater still hangs soft and silent, like you might come back for it someday. I touch the sleeve and feel the distance of words we never got to say. Your laughter lingers in the quiet, like something I can almost hear. I chase the sound like someone desperate, but echoes never bring you near. You didn't say goodbye, you just slipped beyond my control. I watched the moment fade, the love I couldn't hold. It's the love I couldn't hold, a fragile thing I let unfold. I tried to make it stay, but staying wasn't in your soul. Even when the morning came and painted hope in shades of gold, I was left with empty hands, the love I couldn't hold. Maybe love was never meant to survive the weight of fear. Maybe losing you was written long before you disappeared. But even as I heal, there's one truth I still behold. I loved you with my whole heart, still couldn't hold. It's the love I couldn't hold, a quiet ache I still console. I try to walk ahead, but part of me is still exposed. Even when the years drift on and soften every wound, I know I'll always feel that truth, the love I couldn't hold. So let the night fall slow on everything I couldn't control, still echoing inside my chest, the love I couldn't hold. You stopped saying my name the way you used to before. Your hands were still in mine, but they weren't reaching anymore. You smiled, but it felt practiced, like you were already gone. I kept warm in every silence, wondering when the fire was done. I try to blame the time, try to blame the years, but love doesn't disappear, it just changes here. I felt it when your heart went cold, in the quiet, in the slow. Not with anger, not with blame, just the absence of your flame. I was still trying to believe while you were learning how to leave. Yeah, I felt it in my bones the moment your heart went cold. We talked about ordinary things, like nothing had changed at all. But every word felt thinner, like it might break if it fell. I searched your eyes for something, a spark I used to know, but all I found was distance and a love letting go. You didn't say goodbye, you didn't close the door. You just loved me less each day than the day before. I felt it when your heart went cold, when you touched down feeling whole. I kept holding on to us while you were giving up. I tried to stay, I tried to fight, but you were already done. knew the last warm moment was passing by. I felt it when your heart went cold, but I stayed longer than I should. I kept hoping warmth would return, like I misunderstood. Even now I still recall the warmth before the fall. Yeah, I felt it when your heart went cold, and it still hurts after all. I didn't lose you suddenly, I lost you quietly. I thought the ache would fade with seasons, like scars that learn to close. I thought your name would lose its meaning as time kept moving on its own. But every street still feels familiar, like you're walking just behind. I keep telling myself I'm stronger, but my heart won't fall in line. I lived 1,000 normal days, but one thought still remains. I'm still hurting after all this time, still breaking in the quiet night. I learned to smile, I learned to cope, but healing isn't letting go. Even when the world moved on and said I should be fine, I'm still hurting after all this time. Your shadow doesn't haunt my mornings, but it owns my sleepless nights. I don't cry like I did back then, but the pain learned how to hide. I've met new faces, heard new laughter, try to let my heart restart. But some loves don't really leave you, they just change where they hurt. I don't miss the way you left, I miss who I was before it. I'm still hurting after all this time, still replaying every sign I forgave you long ago. But forgiveness doesn't heal the bone, even when the years went by and blur the reasons why, and blur the reasons why. I'm still hurting after all this time. Maybe love doesn't expire, maybe it just learns to wait. Maybe I'm not broken, I just love too deep to escape. I don't want you back, that's not my prayer. I just want this pain to stop living here. I'm still hurting after all this time. I'm still hurting after all this time, but I'm standing still alive. I don't bleed the way I used to, but the scar still knows your name. Even if I never heal all the way, I hope I might. I'll keep breathing through the truth. I'm still hurting after all this time. Some love doesn't fade, it just gets quieter.